Obi-Wan Kenobi, Part 3 of 6, review and full breakdown. Let's get started. How do you do, G-Pot crew? It's your Naughty Buddy Putty here, and today we are going to do a full review and full breakdown of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Part 3. Now, these don't have titles. They've actually been just parts, which I'm fine with that. It is a 6-part event, so we're halfway there when it comes to this one. Now, of course, as I'm recording this, having the parts actually helps so I can pre-record this, get this ready. So I do want to make sure where I have not watched it yet, and I'm going to do a full review afterwards, but I'm going to state this. Based on what I've seen in Part 1 and Part 2, I feel this series is going to be amazing. And if anything does adjust, then in Part 4, I will do a review prior so you guys get a gist of maybe you should watch this or not. Honestly, I've been not really making my Disney Plus series a spoiler-free review because of one reason. It's more readily available to be able to see it on Disney Plus than it is to go see movies that you have to go to the theater. So if you are new here, first and foremost, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's quick and easy, but gosh darn, does it really help out make my channel grow and tells the algorithm, hey, I like your reviews. Then, also, I do want to advise you that currently in Fortnite, they still have the Obi-Wan Kenobi skin available for you to purchase. Keep in mind, it does come with a back bling, and it does come with a pickaxe. You also have the choice of getting his glider, as well as an emote that says, "May the Force be with you." And this is all available in a bundle as well. I'm not sure exactly how long it'll be in the item shop, but if you are going to be using or purchasing this skin, I do ask you one huge favor. And again, remember, this is all in a bundle. You can get the skin, the back bling, the pickaxe, and it gives a loading screen if you get it in the bundle as well. But again, if you can, please use my supporter creator code Putty. Again, that's Putty, Putty, in the item shop if you plan on purchasing this skin. Again, bundle comes with the loading screen, pickaxe, all of that. So if you plan on buying the bundle, or if you plan on buying the skin, the glider, the emote, any way you can, please go to the bottom right hand corner and use my supporter creator code Putty, Putty. I know this was extra long, but I appreciate your patience. And with that being said, let's get right into my full breakdown. And at the end, I will give you my final thoughts. So let's get started. Now, for our first Easter egg, which may not be an Easter egg, especially if you're at least remotely a Star Wars fan, we have here Mustafar. Mustafar is the original place that you saw Anakin and Obi-Wan fight, where Anakin ended up getting burnt up, and of course now transitioning to a Jedi or Sith. Now, I'm thinking this all happened right after the events of Episode 3. So everything that Obi-Wan is reliving as all this is happening, I think this is happening literally right after, and we're just kind of time jumping between both. And I could be wrong. What could be happening is that was not actually the burn. That was just him basically putting on his gear. So basically Anakin, well, is now Darth Vader, occasionally ends up taking the suit off to get into the deprivation tank or to get any kind of the healing stuff. So he can, because he done this before. He was in the chamber prior in Return of the Jedi and all that, where he actually does meagle his bones. And this is also a nice way of putting how they go from what they were before to what they are now in the series. Because if you remember, if you saw New Hope, you saw that Obi-Wan was kind of slower, and so was Anakin, or Darth Vader. And that's because they've gotten older. And for Darth Vader, it's not a matter of just age, it's also his burntness and just the crispiness, even though he does have the robot things. And that's not saying how strong he is. He's definitely strong as hell. He's just not going to do anything as far as fancy footwork when he doesn't need to. Taking command and being more threatening without the jumps and leaps makes him even more menacing, so to say. But anyway, I'm dragging on. This is Mustafar, where that all happened. This Easter egg right here went down another path altogether. Now this one is interesting. The name MAPUZO, and the reason well, let me explain when it comes to Star Wars lore and as a geek, how things might seem familiar, and then it leads you down a path that I'm like, I don't know, because I don't remember. I didn't remember it was an actual location, but I think this might be it, and it's being referenced for something. So let me explain. When I was younger, I'm sure if some of my viewers might have watched Stranger Things and heard of stuff like Dungeons and Dragons, the role-playing game. Well, what a lot of people don't realize is Dungeons and Dragons isn't the only role-playing game that exists out there. There are other role-playing games that exist through the universes. There's a vampire game called Vampire the Masquerade that has a role-playing game. There's also a Marvel role-playing game that came out way back, and it actually doesn't exist anymore. And I think it's the same way with the Star Wars one. There was a Star Wars one, I don't remember the name of it, but MAPUZO, there was a thing called the MAPUZO Break-In that has to do with the bounty hunter. That is a campaign that you would run through the Star Wars role-playing game. And there's no other mention of MAPUZO anywhere else outside of that. And it's the same exact spelling, because when you're running as a dungeon master through any campaigns, you see familiar names like this. So MAPUZO is a name that looks familiar if you've ever, DM'd or dungeon mastered for something like the Star Wars role-playing game. But it was more about seeking a bounty hunter than anything else. So how it applies here, if we see the bounty hunter, then that's going to be amazing. I'll know it by name once I hear it. I will state that. I don't remember his name now. But I will state that the MAPUZO break-in wasn't really that big of a lore gainer when it came into Star Wars. And there might be more, I don't remember exactly how it was connected, whether it was a planet, whether it was just a star system, whether it be a particular location, like they say a mining system. Well, they did say mining system. So that could mean it is a star system. Okay, so I literally just answered my own question right there. But my point to the whole thing is I remember playing this with my friends when I was in my early 20s. And, God, it brings me chills just to see little things like this get thrown in there and now become part of what is the lore of Star Wars. Bringing something back that was small and innocent, but for someone like me, or for someone like a Star Wars fan, to have those little itches where you bring in something that wasn't used anywhere else into canon, just brings a smile. It kind of makes me feel like I'm part of something a little special. And I'm going to get choked up here saying this, but it's like, it makes it feel special. Like, I've always loved Star Wars, but little things like this, it makes me feel like I'm a part of something special that not a lot of people are going to know about. So I had to make sure that it's well known where this connection comes from and why it means so much to me in the grander scheme of why I just love Star Wars so much. I actually had a character that was in MAPUZO in that star system, searching for a bounty hunter. Alright, let's continue. So we have Obi-Wan and Leia now pitching a ride with a character by the name of Freck. I've never seen this kind of creature with this weird nose that looks like something like an anteater mixed with like some buck teeth. He looked really weird. Freck looked really weird, but I couldn't point out anything as far as a species. But I can definitely point out what this is. This is the Imperial symbol right here for the Empire. So that would make Obi-Wan concerned on who he is, because he definitely sides with him, but he has no idea, of course, who Ben Kenobi is, or Ben is. So hopefully this doesn't go south. But I just thought I'd mention why Obi-Wan is so offish when he sees that. Okay, this line rings true. What he's talking about is early on when he first saw Princess Leia, he thought of Padme because they did a good job of casting this girl to look like Padme. And it is great for him to say, I see her mother's face. He's not lying. What he is he does see it. And this is a moment where he's actually being very honest. He does see Padme's face. But of course, he's calling it Leia here. You get the point of it. So things are a bit dicey. You see, for a lot of kids that don't know nowadays, they would make novelizations of the movies of like Return of the Jedi, so on and so forth. And in one of those books, it's mentioned that, and it actually goes into lore later on as well, which I can't remember which books they were at the moment, that he sees visions of his brother when he was younger, but then it comes to find out it's actually Owen Lars, the or Uncle Owen, which is Luke's uncle. It became a twisted thing where he was seeing Owen and it wasn't really his brother, but I'm wondering if they're trying to make it to where there's a relation between him and Anakin in some way, which would mean that Owen would be his brother, which would mean that Anakin, I don't know what they're trying to do here. This is actually really confusing me, to be honest with you right now. But there is a connection, unless they're changing it, which of course, the whole novelization that they did for Return of the Jedi is now not part of the canon. So this could be something they're trying to implement and change. Maybe they are adding a brother. I don't know. We'll see. Yes, JABIIM. She's speaking about a location that happened, or world that happened between the Clone Wars, or not the world, but there was a battle at JABIIM that happened between the Clone Wars, between Jedi and the clones themselves. And it became a novelization that ended up happening that basically took place on that same planet. And of course, we do end up seeing, like she said, Jedis that come through that go to JABIIM, and I'm sure they went through this location after the whole war, which surprises me. The Empire didn't take it over, since there was the battle there, and the clones were on their side. So for them not to take it over surprises me. Oh man, they just mentioned Quinlan Vos. Quinlan Vos is a character from the Clone Wars that Obi-Wan knew from the beginning, but during their battle between the Republic and everything. And it's really cool that they're actually starting to reference characters that you're going to see within the Clone Wars and even in the books as well. But he has I can't remember exactly how his ability is right now. I haven't watched it in a while, but he can basically see people's memories through touch. I think it was, or just I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was through touch. Either way, it's amazing that they're actually referencing a major character from the Clone Wars. So if you haven't seen the Clone Wars series, it's on Disney Plus. You should be going and watching it. They have such a good way to make things just end in a way where it makes you just go, no, I want another episode. So we know Leia is now in trouble. Obi-Wan almost got burnt up, which, by the way, the reason Darth Vader was burning him was because he got burnt. I didn't think I had to explain that. I'm pretty sure if you're watching this and you don't know that, then you really need to go and watch more Star Wars movies. Anyway, my point to the whole thing is I'm loving it, and it surprises me that the encounter with Vader and him happened so early. So I have a feeling my theory that I had before is totally true, that Obi-Wan Kenobi or Anakin is going to kill Darth Vader. I'm going to keep saying Anakin. Darth Vader is going to think he kills Obi-Wan, when actually he doesn't. But luckily, he'll get Leia back to Alderaan safely without Vader ever knowing that she's around. And I will state this, I don't think the Emperor's involved anymore. I think that they're only going for her because she's Force sensitive. But at the same time, they haven't went for Luke. So I think the Emperor does know. It's very confusing, to be honest with you, but it's been a fantastic review, full breakdown. I'm pretty excited about what's about to happen, but We have 3 more episodes, so we're halfway there. I can't wait to see how this continues on and how it ends. I mean, I know how it ends. Of course, we already know how it ends. But I can't wait to see how they're going to link it to the original OG movies, aka A New Hope, and as well as how it'll link to the other movies as well. I'm having a brain fart. The Star Wars story movie. I can't think of it at the moment right now. I'm having a brain fart. I do apologize. But my point to the whole thing is I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. And as always, I am Putty with the G-Pot crew. You know what we do, the reviews of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I can't wait to see part 4 with you. And I'll see you guys next time.